to talk about the secret war between authors and publishers. Now, when I talk about a secret war, I'm not actually talking about an actual physical confrontation. I'm more talking about a metaphorical one representing often uneasy and sometimes adversarial relationship between authors and the publishing industry. And today we're going to be going over a few of those aspects, just looking over my notes here. A few things that I'm going to be going over today is author's vision versus the publisher's mandate, cover design and marketing, revisions and edits, royalties and advances, rights and permissions. There's a lot of issues that publishers and authors butt heads on. And they're usually going at it from a different perspective. The author's going at it from a creative perspective, whereas the publisher's more going at it from a marketing perspective, which will generate more money. Now, most readers, when they pick out a book, it's usually from a traditionally published author. And the reason why is because publishers, they're good at what they do. They're very good at what they do. They go through years of schooling and experience to be able to publish and market your book in the best way possible. But they do ask certain sacrifices via creativity from the author to be able to market to the masses. And a lot of authors don't like that, which is why some like me, end up going to the indie route, because they when you make certain sacrifices, what I found with the traditionally published route is I ended up with a work that I didn't end up recognizing by the end of it. It became less my work and more of the publisher's work. And right here, I'm just going to go into it a little bit further, and we're just going to discuss what authors and publishers end up butting their heads on. So, to start, in publishing, author vision refers to the creative direction and narrative goals that the author has for their work, while publisher mandate encompasses the business and editorial decisions made on the publishing house to ensure that the book's success in the market. These two perspectives often intersect, quite often actually, but also can lead to points of tension, particularly regarding creative control, marketing strategies, and overall presentation of the book, because both sides are very passionate about this. They both want the book to sell well, and quite often the author will only have a look at it from what the book actually has inside of it. And the publisher will kind of look at a more bigger picture type of thing. They have a very different perspective from the author, and at times this ends up causing them to bump heads quite frequently. And authors can typically have a very strong vision for their work, including the narrative, characters, themes, and style. And although a certain amount of sacrifice is required on the author's part in order to get published, at times the publisher will ask the author to sacrifice way too much. And actually, that's the reason why I'm going self-published, like I've frequently stated, because by the end of the traditional publishing road, I always found that my work, I didn't recognize it by the end. I sacrificed far too much. Authors also aim to maintain the integrity of their work and express their unique voice. And sometimes in the traditionally published route, what ends up happening is the author will lose that voice and it'll start to become the publisher's voice. And authors like to often have a deep personal connection to their work and its message, and that message can get lost when the publisher is allowed to just basically have their way. But with the publisher's mandate, though, the commercial viability, publishers must consider the commercial potential of a book, including its marketability and sales prospects. Otherwise, they're going to lose money on it. Publishers may offer suggestions for revisions, edits, and even structural changes to improve the book's appeal to a wider audience. Again, so that it sells a little bit better, because they're going to be putting money into this. They want to know that they're going to have a profit margin. When it comes to marketing and promotion, the publishers are very good at it, and they develop marketing strategies, including cover design, promotional materials, and sales plans to reach their target readership. Now, when it comes to the target readership, that can be it depends on the genre. Some target readerships are bigger than others, and when it comes to the budget, if your book kind of goes to a genre that doesn't typically have a lot of readers, you're not going to get a big budget. And when it comes to rights management, publishers manage the rights to reproduce, distribute, and sell the book, often acquiring these rights through publishing contracts. So usually what happens in this scenario is although authors are very good at reading and writing, sometimes they don't read the contract, and they end up getting angry at what they discover is in that contract. Now, with areas of potential conflict, creative control is a big one. Authors may resist the changes to their work that they feel compromises their artistic vision that they had for their book or series. The marketing decisions. A lot of authors disagree with the publisher's marketing strategies, particularly if they feel it misrepresents the book or its intended audience. The cover design and presentation. This is a huge one where authors usually have very strong opinions. And authors may have strong opinions about the cover design, which can be a point of contention between the author and publisher. Now, in order to navigate this relationship, you need to have effective communication. It's crucial to navigating potential conflicts and finding mutually agreeable solutions. Understanding the publishing process is a massive one. A lot of authors that are looking to go the traditional publishing route should familiarize themselves with the publishing process and understand the publisher's role in ensuring the book's success. Negotiating the agreements. The authors should always carefully review the negotiated publishing agreement to protect their rights and ensure that they have a voice in the process and they don't lose that voice. And always seeking expert advice. It benefits from seeking advice from agents, publishing consultants, or legal professionals when navigating publishing agreements and potential conflicts. Now that kind of gives a quick rundown, a quick overview of stuff that I've learned myself with when it comes to traditionally publishing. Now I'm just going to try and break into each one of those uniquely and kind of go over them a little bit in more detail. So, surprise, surprise, authors and publishers often face difficulties in book cover design and marketing due to differing priorities of communication challenges. Authors, especially self-published ones, may struggle with the design choices, leading to amateurish covers that definitely hinder sales. Publishers, on the other hand, may prioritize marketability over authors' artistic vision, leading to creative tension. Effective communication and collaboration are definitely crucial to bridge these gaps and create covers that both visually are appealing and commercially successful. Authors, they definitely lack design expertise. We're not visual artists, we're artists when it comes to using words. Many authors lack the necessary designing skills or knowledge of genre conventions to create a professional looking cover. This can also result in amateurish designs that fail to attract readers. Publishers, they're always going to focus on marketability. They often prioritize covers that are commercially viable and align with the market trends, potentially clashing with the author's artistic vision of the book. Because again, they're going to be focusing more on the money aspect than the artistic aspect. And when it comes to poor communication between authors and publishers, it can definitely lead to misunderstandings about the desired aesthetic and targeted audience, resulting in a cover that doesn't effectively represent the book. Cover designs, they can be expensive, and authors may face budget limitations, while publishers may have deadlines to meet, potentially impacting the quality and time spent on a cover. And a cover that doesn't accurately represent the book's genre can confuse and alienate potential readers. leading to disappointing sales. So your book cover, it is your reader's first impression to your book. So it's very important. It's probably the most important thing about your book, other than, what it's actually about and the writing style and the writing quality. But it's the first thing that a reader sees that makes them walk over and even grab your book to see if they even want to buy it or not. So there's a few important marketing aspects to keep in check here. Now I'm just going to read off my notes. So authors, particularly self-published ones, may have limited marketing budgets, making it challenging to promote their book effectively, including cover reveal campaigns. Authors may lack the marketing knowledge and experience to promote their books, including leveraging the book cover. Identifying and reaching the target audience can be a very big challenge, and even with a well-designed cover, requiring targeted marketing efforts is definitely it's a lot more harder than a lot of authors think. The publishing industry is very competitive. And standing out from the crowd with a compelling book cover and marketing strategy is extremely crucial, because again, it goes back to the fact that it's the reader's first impression of your book. Now, it can be very difficult to track and the effectiveness of a marketing campaign and determine which strategies are yielding the best results, especially for self-published authors. So if you're looking to go about the self-publishing route, that is something you're going to have to track by yourself, and that can be very difficult. Now, when it comes to the best practices between authors and publishers and requiring book designs, is hiring a professional cover designer can significantly improve the quality and appeal of your book to that specific genre. Designers and authors should reach genre conventions to ensure the cover accurately reflects the genre and attracts that intended audience for the readers that actually prefer that genre. Because me as a fantasy reader and a science fiction reader and someone who likes horror, I definitely have my own preferences, and what I find is it actually aligns with a lot of other fans of fantasy, science fiction, and horror as well. If you're not going with a publisher and you go with a book cover designer, they're usually pretty knowledgeable about what those fans actually do enjoy. Now, when it comes to targeted marketing, identifying and targeting the right audience with tailored marketing campaigns is very, very crucial for maximizing the book sales. Employing various marketing channels such as social media, online advertising, email marketing can help reach a wider audience, and continuously evaluating the effectiveness of these marketing strategies that you're actually implementing is the best way to increase the performance of your marketing. So now we're moving on to editing and revising. Now, the relationship between authors and publishers regarding editing and revising, it can be fraught with a lot of tension, stemming from different perspectives and priorities. Authors often feel possessive of their work and may resist changes, especially if they perceive them as detrimental to their artistic vision or voice. Publishers, on the other hand, are primarily concerned with producing, again, a marketable and commercially successful product, which may require adjustments to the manuscript that the author really doesn't agree with. Now, here's a breakdown of the common points of tension. There's an emotional attachment. Every author is emotionally attached to their work and their characters, and they invest a significant time and emotion into their work, making it difficult to view it objectively. They resist changes when it comes to artistic control, and they feel they're compromised their creative vision or unique writing style just isn't possible. And they also have a fear of criticism. Rejection of the manuscript or request for revisions can be perceived as personal attacks, leading to defensiveness. And authors may not fully grasp the publisher's rationale for requested changes of the broader market considerations. It's the publishers that are responsible for the financial success of the book, which may require the adjustments to be made. The publishers also aim to maintain a certain standard of quality in terms of writing and clarity or grammar. So sometimes they just ask you to clean that up. It's not an attack. It's just that's what they need to publish it. Because they figure if you're publishing with them, you're a professional writer, and the work needs to look like that. Publishers need to manage the editing and production process efficiently, which can sometimes clash with the author's pace of the revision. So the efficiency of timeliness, sometimes the author feels rushed. Publishers and editors have different areas of expertise as well, and may have a different perspective on what constitutes to be a quote-unquote good book. And that can lead to issues as well. Again, you need open communication. You need to have a respectful tone, maintaining that respectful and professional tone throughout the process. It is very essential for fostering a collaborative environment. And a collaborative environment usually leads to a excellent and successful book. Authors should also view editing process as an opportunity to improve their work and make it the best possible version of their work. Professional editors, they often employ publishers often employ professional editors who have experience navigating these tensions and facilitating a productive dialogue between the author and the publisher. So there is that to look forward to if you're looking forward to the traditional route. You should always familiarize yourself with the publishing process, and taking breaks during the revision process can actually help you gain a fresh perspective and approach the work with more objectivity. Now, here's a fun one that everybody, through lack of expertise and experience, usually runs into, especially when going the traditional publishing route, is the advances in royalties. When it comes to advances are meant to provide authors with upfront payment. They're also an advance against future royalties, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. This creates a potential conflict where publishers may prefer profit maximization while authors seek sales maximization. Additionally, issues with royalty accounting and payment schedules can further strain the relationship. So when it comes to you new authors or writers, an advance is an upfront payment to the author, but it's essentially an advance against future royalties. Authors don't receive royalties until the advance is quote unquote earned out. Basically, sales surpass the advanced amount. This can create a situation where an author might not see further payments even if the book is selling well, especially if the advance was substantial. Advances vary widely, with well-established authors receiving much larger sums than debut authors. This can actually lead to feelings of unfairness and disparity within the author community. Historically, advances were often split into 2 or 3 payments: signing, acceptance, publication. Now, some publishers are using a 4-part schedule, adding a payment a year after publication or on paperback release. This can mean authors are holding more risk and struggling to manage finances. When it comes to royalty calculation and accounting, authors often report that royalty statements are confusing, lack of transparency, and contain errors. Some publishers also struggle with efficient royalty accounting, which can lead to delays and frustration for authors. Now, that's something a lot of inexperienced authors are actually going through. While publishers invest in marketing and promotion, these efforts are not always equitable, and authors may feel that their book's performance is not fully recognized or rewarded because of this. Now, when it comes to the negotiation power imbalance, authors, especially those with less experience or leverage, can definitely find themselves at a disadvantage when negotiating contracts and royalty terms. So it's very important to note when it comes to the money that you do read the contract, and if you're taking an advance, you do understand that the advance is an advance on your royalties. So that can actually stop you from getting royalties if your book doesn't sell well, or even if it does sell well. So if the advance is a substantial amount. So definitely put in your research before you even ask for an advance. Most of the time, it's best not to have an advance and just go on your royalties, because then you will get the money. The only thing with an advance is if you're not sure that it's going to sell well, that's the only time I would suggest an advance. But again, it's all up to you. Now, here's one that a lot of people either don't know about or they just flat out overlook. Accounting transparency and the tension that can cause between authors and publishers. So when it comes particularly around royalty payments, authors frequently express concerns about not receiving accurate or complete information about sales figures and the calculation of their royalties, leading to a lack of trust and potential financial losses. Authors often find royalty statements from publishers lacking detailed breakdowns of sales, expenses, and the methods used to calculate their share. They have questions on the deductions for expenses, reserves, or other costs, especially after recouping their advance without sufficient explanation. There can be instances of errors and or discrepancies in royalty statements leading to underpayments or delays in royalty calculation. They might not have access to detailed sales data or information about how their work is being exploited, making it difficult to verify the accuracy of royalty calculations. A lot of this is basically stuff that usually experienced authors pick up on. They might not have access. They might. Authors are increasingly concerned about their share of revenue from subscriptions, bundles, and sub-licenses, which are often not clearly detailed in royalty statements. Publishers argue that royalty accounts can be complex, involving numerous sales channels, formats, the print, the ebook, the audiobook, and international markets, making it difficult to provide granular detail to each author. Publishers may cite confidentiality concerns regarding sales data and contractual agreements with distributors or retailers. Implementing more transparent accounting systems can be costly, and it also can be time consuming for publishers, especially the smaller ones. Some publishers may be using outdated accounting systems that make it difficult to generate detailed reports. But again, when you're negotiating this, authors can negotiate for more transparent royalty terms in their publishing contracts. That's something you have to do before you actually sign the contract, including specific details about sales data, deductions, and payment schedules. There's a growing push for industry-wide standards for royalty accounting and reporting to ensure consistency and fairness, by the way. Emerging technologies like AI-powered auditing tools and blockchain-based systems offer potential for increased accuracy and trust in royalty accounting. Organizations like the Authors Guild and the Society of Authors are advocating for greater transparency, and they're working with publishers to improve royalty and reporting practices. Now, when it comes to self-publishing, authors who choose to self-publish do gain greater control over their royalty accounting and reporting, by the way. So, authors frequently feel marginalized in the creative process, particularly during marketing and sales, while publishers struggle with author wide delays and unmet expectations. Finding a balance between the author's creative vision and the publisher's commercial goals is a crucial success for this partnership. So, authors often feel excluded from crucial marketing decisions, even though their work is the foundation of the publishing process. They might not be consulted on cover design, promotional materials, or sales strategies, leading to a sense of disengagement. They frequently feel underpaid for their work, particularly compared to the profits generated by their books. This can lead to resentment and feeling that the publishers don't fully appreciate their effort of their book of them involved in even writing the book. Authors they might clash with the publishers over editorial decisions like cover design and marketing strategies. Publishers, on the other hand, may prioritize marketing trends and sales potential over an author's artistic vision. Lack of clear and consistent communication between the author and the publisher can lead to misunderstandings and frustrations. Publishers may not adequately explain their rationale for certain decisions, while authors may not effectively communicate their expectations or their concerns. With the rise of digital publishing and social media, authors and publishers face new challenges in reaching readers. Authors may expect publishers to adapt to these changes and provide more support in the digital landscape, while publishers may struggle to keep up with the ever evolving marketing landscape. So there's always that. Authors expect publishers to kind of evolve on a dime when that's kind of not possible. Regular, transparent communication between authors and publishers is essential. Publishers should actively solicit author feedback and provide clear expectations for their decisions. Involving authors in key decision making, particularly those related to marketing and promotion, can foster a sense of ownership and partnership. And they both need to have realistic expectations, the author and the publisher, about the publishing process and the challenges involved. This includes understanding the financial realities of publishing and the time and effort required to market the book. Publishers need to adapt to the changing landscape of digital publishing and social media to better support authors in reaching their audience, and recognizing the value of authors' contribution and treating them with respect is crucial for building a positive and productive relationship. So you will note here that I am trying to be fair to both the author and the publisher, and I'm trying to give a view of both the author's perspective as well as the publisher's perspective, because any publishers that are watching this video, it is important that they know the author's perspective. But when it comes to the authors, some of you are very new and you do need to understand where the publisher is coming from. Although your book is great, they need to make sure that it's going to sell. Now, here's one that a lot of people don't ever expect to be an issue. Authors often feel that publishers don't invest enough in marketing their books, while publishers may argue that they are allocating resources strategically based on various factors. Authors often feel their books are not really marketed, and it often they feel it often lowers sales as well as visibility of their book. They may have limited input on the marketing budget and strategy, even though they may have a better understanding of their target audience, in which I'm speaking about the author. And authors may feel that they are expected to handle a significant portion of the marketing themselves, despite receiving a smaller share of the actual revenue. But when it comes to the publisher's perspective, publishers allocate marketing budgets based on factors like author's track record, the book's genre, and the market trends. Publishers need to balance market spending across multiple titles, considering potential return on that investment. So you need to make sure you do understand that the publisher is making an investment in your book. Publishers often expect authors to actively participate in the marketing because it is their book, including leveraging their personal platform and network. Publishers may spend significant amounts on PR firms, which authors may see as an inefficient use of funds, particularly if the publisher has an in-house PR staff. Now, the key points of conflict is definitely budget size. But authors feel the overall marketing budget is too small, or that too little, or that too little is allocated to their spending on their specific book. The marketing tactics, the authors and publishers may disagree on this, on the most effective marketing strategies, such as the use of social media influencers or traditional advertising. Authors' involvement is a big key point of conflict, because authors feel that they're doing too much marketing, while publishers may feel that they are contributing enough. So the potential solution for this, again, it's same old, clear communication, collaboration, transparency, authors educating themselves on different marketing techniques which will empower them to contribute more effectively, and alternative funding, exploring other options for authors to contribute to specific marketing efforts while still maintaining a reasonable overall budget could be beneficial. So here's one for you. The author's platform is a point of contention between authors and publishers, often revolving around the perceived need for authors to have a pre-existing audience before a publisher will even invest in your work. An author platform in the publishing world refers to an author's ability to reach and engage with potential readers. This can manifest through various channels like social media following, email lists, speaking engagements, website traffic, or even pre-existing readership base. Publishers see this as a way to gauge the author's potential for book sales and marketing success, and some authors feel pressure to build a large platform before even submitting a manuscript, potentially leading to anxiety and focused on self-promotion over their actual writing. There's concern that publishers might prioritize a platform over the quality of writing, potentially overlooking some very talented authors with smaller platforms. Some authors argue that publishers should play a more active role in building their platform for their authors, rather than solely relying on the author's pre-existing reach. And if you can hear my daughter in the background, she's just playing with her toys. The rise of self-publishing has also shifted the dynamics, with authors having more control over their marketing and platform building. Now, platform is very important, but just remember that your writing is equally as important. But with the reality, a strong platform can certainly help an author gain visibility and attract a publisher's attention, but it's not always the sole determining factor. Many publishers acknowledge that a compelling story and a strong writing are still paramount. Some publishers are now focusing on helping authors develop their platforms after signing a contract, and the definition of platform is evolving, with authors increasingly taking control of their direct connection with the readers. So, self-publishing empowers authors with complete control over their work, from content to distribution, but requires them to manage all the aspects of the publishing process and cover all associated costs. Traditional publishing, on the other hand, involves a publishing house taking over these responsibilities, offering resources and expertise, but often at the expense of creative control and potentially even lowering royalties. So the pros of self-publishing, obviously, of creative control. Authors regain complete control over all aspects of their book, including content, cover design, and marketing. You get higher royalties. Self-published authors typically earn a larger percentage of each sale. The faster time to market. The self-publishing process can be significantly faster than traditional publishing. The flexibility. Authors have greater flexibility in terms of when and how to publish. In the global distribution, many self-publishing platforms offer access to the global distribution networks. But it's not all pros. There are cons of self-publishing. The cons are there can be high upfront costs. Authors bear the full cost of editing, the cover design, the formatting, the marketing, and other publishing expenses. Marketing responsibility. Self-published authors are solely responsible for all marketing and promotion efforts. Their limited resources. Self-published authors may lack the resources and expertise that traditional publishers offer. And there's a stigma. Some perceive self-published books as lower quality, though this perception is changing. There's potentially low sales without the backing of a traditional publisher. Sales can be challenging to achieve. Now, with traditional publishing, from my experience, I'm just gonna go over some of the pros and cons to this. So, with traditional publishing, the pros: financial backing. The traditional publishers cover all publishing costs, including editing, design, printing, marketing, the expertise and resources. Publishers offer a team of professionals to guide authors through the entire process. Established distribution channels. Traditional publishers have established networks for getting books into bookstores and other retail outlets. There's a potential for higher visibility. Traditionally published books may have a higher chance of reaching a wider audience, and there's that prestige. Being traditionally published can carry a certain level of prestige and validation, but there are cons. So your royalties, they're lower. Royalties are typically lower than with self-publishing. Loss of creative control. Publishers may have a say in various aspects of the book, including content and cover design. The longer publishing process. Traditional publishing can take a year or more from acceptance to publication. The limited market input. Authors may have limited input into their book's marketing strategy, and there's always risk of rejection. Traditional publishers may reject a manuscript, even after extensive submissions. Okay, so the creation and distribution and monetization of content through digital channels. So that's what digital publishing refers to, and it encompasses a wide range of formats, including ebooks, online magazines, blogs, podcasts, and more. Essentially, it's the process of making content available online for consumption and potentially for profit. I myself listen to a podcast. It's called Dadlit, and you can find it on Apple Podcasts. And when it comes to content creation, this involves producing various forms of digital content such as text, images, audio, video, kind of like what you're watching right now. Digital content is distributed through various online platforms, including websites, apps, and social media like YouTube or what I go on Twitter. Monetization. Digital publishers can generate revenue through various methods, including advertising, subscriptions, and direct sales of digital products. So this is a great time to kind of remind you to hit that subscribe button. Digital publishing also allows content to be accessed by a global audience on various devices. Digital formats can incorporate interactive elements like videos, animations, and clickable links. You will see some animations that through this video, little gifs that I put up for your entertainment to kind of add some flavor to the video. So some examples of digital publishing that relate to this topic here are ebooks. Books published in digital formats for reading on devices like Kindles or tablets. I personally read all my books on a Kindle because I have a 5 and a 3-year-old, and they view every book as a coloring book. Online magazines. Digital versions of magazines, often with interactive features or multimedia content. I've written for a few of these online magazines and have been published for my works for short stories. The last one, I believe, was Terra Mater. It did very well. I made a lot of money from that. blogs, online platforms where individuals or organizations publish articles, opinions, or other content. There's podcasts, audio content distributed online, often through platforms like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. There's digital newspapers. There's apps, mobile applications that provide access to various forms of digital content. Now, the benefits of working with digital content, there's actually quite a few. There's a wider reach. Digital publishing allows you to reach a global audience, transcending geographical limitations. It's very cost effective. It eliminates the costs associated with printing, physical distribution, putting the whole book together, and storage. It frees up a tremendous amount of storage. I have hundreds of books in my Kindle. I couldn't imagine my little apartment being kind of overridden with books upon books upon books and hundreds of them. It's enhanced engagement. Its digital formats can offer interactive features and multimedia elements that can enhance the user engagement. Digital platforms also allow publishers to track key metrics like website traffic, engagement, and conversations. It's very flexible. It can be easily updated and revised, allowing for quick adjustments and corrections. Now, the last thing I'm going to touch on is the change in modern day reading habits. Due to the influence of digital technology, increased time demands, and changing preferences, while traditional book reading has seen a decline, digital reading and audiobooks are gaining popularity, and people are reading more diversely across genres. So the shift from print to digital, ebooks, and online reading, the rise of e-readers and online platforms have made reading accessible and convenient, with many preferring to access books digitally. Audiobooks have become increasingly popular, offering a different way to consume content, especially for those with busy schedules or during commutes. I listen to audiobooks on my way to trade school or work. It's an hour drive, and I just pop an audiobook on. It's great. Also, those with reading disabilities, for something like dyslexia or any of the other disabilities that prevent you from reading, audiobooks can be fantastic for that. On online reading material, the internet has become a primary source of information and entertainment, with people accessing news, articles, and social media content online. Increased work and family commitments, as well as the allure of other forms of entertainment, have led to a decrease in leisure reading for a lot of people. Smartphones and social media can be a significant distraction, pulling people away from dedicated reading time. Reading fatigue. Some studies suggest that we may read on screens and lead to a decline in our ability to focus on long-form text. People are exploring a wider range of genres, including young adult, romance, science fiction, fantasy, horror. Reading habits are becoming more flexible, with people switching between physical books, ebooks, and audiobooks based on their needs and preferences. Some find reading to be a form of escapism and a way to cope with stress and anxiety. In my last video, someone stated that they don't read He Who Fights with Monsters anymore because it became too political, and they don't like that. They read for a sense of escapism. They don't want to read about politics, which is, that's fair. So some argue that the way we read on digital devices, with emphasis on quick consumption and scrolling, can affect our ability to focus on deeper reading. Despite the challenges, reading in the digital age can still enhance critical thinking, improve concentration, and expand vocabulary and skills. It's also important to be mindful of how we read, whether it's on paper or screen, and to prioritize deep reading when necessary. So that's about it. So went over all my experiences with you guys when it comes to writing and the traditional publication process, with what I'm finding on the self-publication process. So hopefully all the information in this video helps you out. And that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit like and comment on your own experiences in the publication process, or some of your worries in the publication process if you don't have any experiences. And hit subscribe as well, and I will try to reply to every comment.